Hello and welcome to Good Brews, Bad Views, the podcast that asks if great beer makes bad movies any better. I'm Max Nestorowicz, and as always, joined by my two time-traveling hosts, one, James Thorpe II.
Hello.
And Ryan Everett.
Hi.
How are you guys
Sorry,
doing
I was
today?
choking on literally nothing when you
Yeah.
when you acknowledged me.
You're terrible, Ryan.
I am
terrible.
You're choking on tachyons.
Oh, God.
Yes, definitely.
So yes, time travel, because today we are watching Terminator Genysis, the fifth and maybe final movie in this franchise, question mark?
I don't know.
Did Sega sponsor this one?
I'm glad that we got that joke out of the way, because it was like high up on my list of terrible puns.
Well, they open, like, someone opens a box and it just has like a tablet in it or something, and it's just like Genesis is like, wait, is this really what they're doing? Are they tying Sega into this somehow?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if it may be the end just because this didn't do well, but this movie's clearly like trying to do a soft reboot.
Yes, and we will get into that once we get into this movie. But before that, if this is your first time listening to the show, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. We're sorry. How this podcast works is we are going to watch a movie, in this case 2015's Terminator Genysis, and we are going to drink some beer alongside of it and make some observations about the film, crack wise, and try to have a good time.
Greasing the wheels with some beer.
Yes, of course. Before we get started on that, though, little Good Brews, Bad Views goes forth update. So a couple weekends ago, I found myself in Toronto and visited a number of tasty breweries, which I will now list off. First, we went to River Rouge, which is in Markham, which is kind of like northeast of the city, which is very kind of confusing because there's a brewery called Rouge River. Rouge River is the one in Toronto. River Rouge is the one in Royal Oak. So even reading from this list, I'm getting the two confused.
Womp womp.
Also went to like a good like metal themed brewery called Blood Brothers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
They have a beer called White Lies, where the logo is like two hands shaking, but one of the hands has like a snake wrapped around it and is biting the other hand. So they've got a lot of like, cool little like metal-y, occulty like labels and stuff.
That's cool.
Reinhard Brewery, which had a Terminator 2 pinball machine in it.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Steam Whistle Brewery, which is one of Toronto's most famous brewery. It's in an old train roundhouse. Where they keep all the engines and such. So, Left Field, which is a baseball themed brewery, which allows dogs into it, and there were many dogs in there, despite it being blizzard conditions when I was there. Bellwoods, my absolute favorite of the trip, which had the best stout I have ever had.
Big words from Max. Those
yes,
are
big words. It was a stout aged in cognac barrels for a year. So after that, it was like, I need to drink more cognac. And last up, we went to Amsterdam Brewery. Why can't I remember this one?
In Toronto?
Yeah.
Should it be called the Toronto Brewery?
They went to Little Amsterdam.
Little Amsterdam. Yeah.
With the
I'm drawing
world's
complete blank
tiniest
on
red
this
light
last
district.
one. That's unfortunate.
Maybe it'll hit you.
Yeah, maybe later. But good beers were had by all. It was terrible, blizzardy, snowy conditions while we were there, but didn't stop me from eating my way through that city with Stephanie. So
Isn't that just how Canada always is?
nah. I mean, it was nice the first day we were there. Okay. So back to this actual movie now. This podcast is designed to be watched or to be listened to alongside the movie. So you're going to get the best experience out of it, but it's not going to be required. You just may not be able to understand what we're making jokes about or talking about sometimes. But we'll try our best, and we are watching this on Blu-ray that we rented from our local library. Support your local library. You guys have anything to add before we get started on this? Time?
No, I'm ready to put this behind me.
Don't support your local library if Tammy 2 works there.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, we are about 20 seconds into the movie. The Paramount logo has just finished displaying all the stars around that mountaintop. So, Ryan, you want to tell us when we should start?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
No, I'll do it. Yeah, for sure. All right, so if you're watching along at home, press play now.
Okay, so now of course I remember what Amsterdam Brewery was. Amsterdam Brewery is one on Lake Ontario. Brewery on Lake Ontario had pretty good dinner there. Specialized in like some barbecue.
Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Canadian barbecue. Is Canadian barbecue? Do they just boil everything in maple syrup? Is that how that works?
No, but I did have a pizza that had reduced wort on it, like brewer's wort. So
that sounds interesting.
yeah, it was like a brewer's sausage pizza.
Okay.
So.
I would eat that with my face. That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna
Arnold Brown and
butt
Schwager.
chug that pizza.
Chug
So
that
this
pizza.
movie's got like so many good brews, bad views, all stars.
Yeah.
This does.
Yep, everyone besides Emilia Clarke.
Yeah. So this already starts the soft reboot that I mentioned, Max. Like this in and of itself is explaining the concept of Terminator, right?
Yes, because it's been a number of years since the last film with
Yep.
Christian Bale that was largely forgettable.
Boo.
I liked it more than this one.
I
to be
did too.
honest.
I like Terminator Salvation
Yeah.
a whole lot, actually.
I saw it in theaters and I was like, okay, I'm okay.
You know, and I have a theory about that, but we can talk about that after
Yeah.
as to why that wasn't as well received.
Missiles are basically sky dicks.
Yep. And then the Fire Nation attacked.
That does pretty much look like that, doesn't it? That's a
much.
great shot. I love this shot.
This,
I think
this is I think this is a very strong opening sequence.
I agree for the most part. I like a lot of the shots where the outcome is suggested and not directly shown with the look at all this shit blowing up kind of
like
stuff.
this right
like,
here.
Yeah, and the plane shot was great.
Yep.
Like even this is still pretty. Like the in-city shot, this is too much, in my opinion. Like this is unnecessary.
Well, it was 2015 when this movie came out, so
Yeah. So everything
of
has
course,
to explode.
we got to destroy the Golden Gate Bridge because how else do we show that things are going bad in San Francisco?
Roland Emmerich is so proud.
Now,
Sega.
Yeah.
now Magneto shows up and puts it back together. The Ian McKellen one.
I don't know.
Skynet determined that Batman and Robin's release was the cause for human extinction because it
That's-
awoke slightly after the movie came out.
I mean, I don't know how you top that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys were kind of mentioning soft reboot stuff. I combed through some trivia on this. On IMDb anyway. I don't know how reliable that is. But I guess this is supposed to be the start of a rebooted trilogy.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, does this feel with the names coming up along the sides here and the the voiceover? This feels like the start to a video game to me.
Kind of, yeah. Just how cinematics are now done.
How cinematics are done, where they're introducing you to the story of what's going on.
Yeah, because it's
Like this, like it really feels like a video game start to me.
yeah, pretty like one of the recent Fallout games.
Yeah,
Or like a COD kind of thing. Or
yeah. Like basically, what would happen here is that as this finished, it would just cut to you being
It
playing
would
the little
zoom
boy,
in and
Being
it would go into
Soldierman.
POV of the.
of the little boy, or
Yep.
John.
So we were talking about Terminator Salvation, and they originally were trying to get Christian Bale for this, but he was unavailable. They also wanted Tom Hardy for this to play John Connor, but he was
Okay.
instead doing Mad Max Fury Road.
Better
a
choice.
Superior film.
yeah, all right then.
They couldn't come up with a way to have John Connor's mouth covered for most of the movie, so
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for a Terminator dog at some point, like a Doginator.
Doginator. Well, they did that cool river snake Terminator in Terminator Salvation. Remember that?
Oh yeah, they did have like more non-humanoid stuff.
Yeah.
Bork. Heckin' robots.
I like how the dog is has continuous presence throughout all of the Terminator movies. 1, 2, this one.
They use them in Salvation to determine who is in, who is not a Terminator.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's a lot of just like hallmarks of the series that this movie
Yeah,
pays homage to.
I will give this movie a lot of credit in that if you have seen all of the other movies to include Terminator 3 and Salvation, there are lots of nods to this movie. You do not need to see any of those other movies to understand the plot of this movie, though.
No.
Right.
James Cameron was totally like on board in support of this movie, and to him and Schwarzenegger, this is the third movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of themes that this movie touches upon that are hinted at or hinted at in those first two, but are fully explored in this one. But we'll get to that.
Yes,
and
they are.
I'm sorry, but Jason Clarke is just butt ugly.
He is such a terrible choice for John Connor.
Yeah. Yep. I do like his disfigurement, but I don't know. I do not like his face.
Yeah,
we last saw him on the podcast in Death Race as one of the guards of the prison.
Right, yeah.
And Jai Courtney, playing Connor Reese, apparently doesn't age.
Look at his mouth is so tiny and it never opens. Clark, I mean.
Yeah. It's like his mouth is like retracting into his face.
He looks like a CPA who woke up one day and was like, "I'm going to play Army." That's what he looks like to me.
So part of me was wondering why they barcode the humans, like why Skynet barcodes the humans. Like, why doesn't it just like indiscriminately just murder them or whatever?
Yeah,
then I realized why. They need the humans for their teeth to put in their Terminators. Because the teeth are like actual teeth, it looks like.
Well, I mean,
that's an interesting theory.
Yeah.
That's the best I can come up with.
I've always taken it as a clear, or not as, I shouldn't say clear, but I've always taken it as a callback to the Holocaust.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I'm a little at a loss for why the Terminators would round up the humans, if not to collect their teeth. Why do they collect them at all? Like, if they just want to exterminate them, why aren't you just murdering them on the spot all the time?
Yeah, and I guess the only thing that I've ever been able to come up with is that once humanity was beaten down to the point that they're able to control them, then Skynet, being moral and moral and effectively omnipotent, can just be like, well, I'll just control you and it'll be fine, right? Like, it destroys humanity because humanity is the only thing that can destroy it. So once humanity is no longer a threat, it should not see it as a threat anymore, right? Because it still has weapons killing the humans it sees as threats, but the labor camp humans are not a threat, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but I can't see this system being okay with keeping humans around. Just because they're a variable that you can't control.
Yeah,
and, Skynet has access to the internet and therefore all of basically human history at this point, just to know that it would be a terrible idea, I think.
Here we see a fake out of a Terminator driving a truck because even Skynet cannot get autonomous vehicles to work.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing here. Like, a lot of it, I guess, has to pull from the fact that, like, there's just things that machines can't do yet, I guess, and you have to kind of have people around for. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, it's the same thing, like, a human frame, a bipedal frame, is a incredibly inefficient
machine,
robot design. Yeah,
like the fucking quadruped tank that shows up later is a monster.
Yeah,
like that makes a lot more sense.
This is the actual. So we see several Terminator robots there. This is the first one where they are not stop motion. Like the actual and this is also the first Terminator movie shot digitally.
Right.
So.
Yep. So no stop motion and just no animatronic Terminators. It's all CG.
Interestingly, when you watch them, they're using the same laser weapons back, which has been something that none of the previous war in the future has ever shown. It's always been humanity using human weapons,
like assault rifles
and stuff like that. Yeah,
and that's cool because that implies they've had some victories. They've been able to procure some spoils from the Terminators.
Yeah,
like this type of machine is way more suited for just murdering everything.
Yep. As it does.
Does. And did our taxes.
The machines run the IRS. But you'll notice that you see very, very little of the lower body of the Terminators, as their upper body is so solidly well designed, I think, from an aesthetic standpoint, but their legs are spindly as fuck.
Yep. Yeah, because it's a bone structure, not the calf structure that you'd have.
So they've got weird little spindly feet and whatever, so they're just they're just very
they're more interesting from the waist up.
They're more interesting from the waist up.
I feel like there's a sex joke in there, but
So we saw the not Arnold, but Arnold's stunt double. I cannot recall the actor's bodybuilder's name.
It's like Azaz.
Yeah. We saw him get out of a closet, so I'm implying that Skynet has just a closet full of Arnolds.
It's Arnold washing day.
Yep. I find it interesting though that we see him go into like the thinker pose almost when he gets sent back in time now. But when we see Reese go back, like he has like the Jesus martyr pose.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it might be a little much.
Yeah.
And everybody had all the weed.
Yeah.
You fucking freak.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool. I really like that take on John Connor, and I promise I'm not going to spend this movie's career to Salvation. Salvation does a little bit of that too, with like the prophet idea that he knows things that nobody else does, and people just don't believe him. This one, I like the take on Salvation a little more, but I get the more hopeful view of this one, where it's like people found somebody they could believe in.
Yeah.
Right. And no matter, even if it's weird that he knows these things, he's a ray of hope and he's winning. So why wouldn't people rally to him and see what he could do, right? I mean, I get that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just real quickly, the body double, the bodybuilder, was Brett Azar.
Brett Azar, yeah.
And
here we have back to 84 in Los Angeles. I really like how they shot these scenes for the 80s. Like it just looks dirty. It's grimy.
And we're still rolling credits too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like 7 or 8 minutes into this movie. We're approaching like Flintstones levels of opening credits.
Giant naked ass white guy.
Yep. But yeah, he looks a lot like Arnold with Arnold's face CGI'd onto him.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I guess part of the thing that helped this guy, Azar, get cast as the double for Arnold was he actually did a great job of lip syncing to Arnold's lines from the original movies.
I think it was part of his audition process.
Yeah.
Okay. He's built very much like Arnold used to.
Here we have just some minor butt.
Time for some.
Yeah. I like the
PG-13 for minor butt.
It's a subtle there, but I like that he's walking like a robot still there too.
he just got off the
It's got off the line.
got off the ice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this opening sequence here is a long known about deleted scene from previous movies where they find the machine. They know that that something's been sent back. I know specifically in the second Terminator, there's like, they find a piece of the T-1000, like, so they know like what's been
sent back,
sent back, and whatever.
Okay.
So, but and there's a couple other things within this movie that that hark from those deleted scenes from the previous films that explore some of the themes. Particularly, what I'm talking about is Arnold smiling.
Yes. Yep. Well, and from a further overarching theme, the end of this movie really explores the end of Terminator 2's themes too.
Yep.
Right. So I guess they had to film these scenes at NASA because they couldn't find a soundstage big enough anywhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, NASA.
It's like they're just filming it inside Cerebro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Where are the mutants?
So while we're doing this lame-ass time travel thing, what are we drinking today, guys?
You brought us something pretty interesting, Max. You brought us Batch 8000 from Shorts.
Yep, this quadruple IPA with raspberries in it. It marks Shorts' 8,000th batch of beer. So congrats on that. That's quite the accomplishment.
Yay, Shorts!
Yay, Shorts.
Shorts.
Yep. So this is by far the most alcoholic beer we've drank on the podcast. This comes in at like a 15% ABV. It doesn't taste that boozy.
No.
It's got a really nice malt backbone, which you don't get from a lot of IPAs, particularly maybe from some doubles. A little bit of tartness and sweetness from the raspberries, but how are you guys liking it?
I think it's pretty great. As a quadruple IPA. There's not a lot of bitterness here, so this is nice. The raspberry's good. It's good. It's not overwhelming. I'm liking it.
So this is a cool conversation between John and Kyle here. I really like that. You can't see the future, talking about it, how you knew this was here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the naysayer here. I am not thrilled with this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Elaborate. He's taking another sip.
Musquaberate.
I think that it doesn't all come together.
That's fair.
That's fair, because I'm not getting a lot of hops from this. I'm not getting a lot of the hop flavors.
You get hit with hops very, very, very quickly at the front, but like you said, it's really malty.
Mm-hmm.
It's way maltier than I expected it to be. And unlike Ryan, I'm really not getting the raspberries in it at all. Like this would, if you told me this was just a quad Belgian,
yeah,
I would just believe you.
I would also say that I'd believe that, or barley wine, which when you get up into like those bigger double IPAs, the barley wine line becomes kind of fuzzy, but distinguishing the two.
The barley wine line, I like.
The barley wine
I'm
line.
gonna save that for something.
Yep. So blah 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 blah. I'm gonna go meet your mom. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Well,
You
it's
know
been
I'm
fun
gonna
talking
bone
to
her.
you, Dad, but I have to send you through space and time so you can fuck Mom so I can exist.
Yeah. So this movie does one of those things that like makes me laugh about future movies a lot of the time. So, Skynet wiped 4 billion people off the face of the earth in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are all still running around with like somehow managing to find USA Velcro patches to put on their shoulders.
Yep.
Now I'm all for being like, woo, yeah. But it's more of a logistics thing that like that stuff would just be incredibly hard to come by. They're
Their
all
body
in,
armor
like,
technology has continually evolved as well.
I mean, he's an ACU uniform right there, basically, and it's like, okay, these guys are gonna be in like rags and whatever else they can find,
Yeah. They seemed a little more ragged in the first Terminator, if I recall correctly.
So let me pose a scenario for you, an ironic repurposing of Terminators. Perhaps they've killed but not completely destroyed enough Terminators where they can create a small sweatshop where the robots sew them whatever they want.
That's
I mean, there's no evidence to the contrary.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's a good dick you're sending back in time there.
But yeah, look, he's floating up. He's got his arms akimbo.
He's like
literally doing like the Jesus pose.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad, for giving me that.
Dr. Spacetime looking all creepy in the back there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little heavy-handed Terminator.
I don't know. Man of Steel is smirking at how unheavy-handed this is.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you're right.
Which is then being looked down upon by The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
For
the second two movies.
Yeah. I love this. I love this twist.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed this twist the first time I saw it.
Mm-hmm. So here we had Matt Smith as Skynet, more or less, we'll say.
Yep.
And in Salvation, you had Helena Bonham Carter as Skynet, if I recall correctly.
Sort of.
She was a programmer who got digitized into being the personality or whatever.
Skynet would swap its image to suit whatever person it was speaking with.
Okay, yeah. So apparently Skynet has a thing for being British.
Yes.
Also kind of fitting that they had Doctor Who being heavily involved in the
in a time travel.
heaviest time travel Terminator movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they it's pretty heavy about this.
Yeah, this is I swear I believed this movie was going to have some sort of Genisys thing going on.
Mm-hmm. So as we've already kind of mentioned, this is kind of a soft reboot of Terminator movies. So in that lane, but also it's a continuation of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather a movie series get perpetual sequels, or would you like it to be rebooted? Not like this one's rebooted, but rebooted like RoboCop.
I don't know.
I actually have to think about that, to be honest with you.
Okay, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to think about.
Ruminate on
yeah.
that, a bit,
Ruminate on
listeners.
that, and
Post-movie.
Post-movie, we'll discuss that, because I don't. That's a hard one to answer. I love that low angle there of seeing the alleyway.
That's an old movie angle too.
Yeah, like I was saying, like they shot this like an older movie, and I really appreciate that.
Ow!
God,
Like that's
that
like
would hurt.
a shot down the alley. That's something you would see in like Burton Batman.
Just butts.
Just butts and burns.
Butts and burns and butts and burns.
Prior to the movie, there was the warning about it, and was it
Partial nudity.
Partial nudity showed up, which I I made reference that it should be bootity because that usually just means it's butts, and Max referred to it as just butts, which is way better.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
strong language, gun violence, and just butts.
Yeah.
So this is one of the 2 Terminator movies rated PG-13, and I think it does it very well. It gets in its one fuck coming up in this scene, but other than that, there's nothing like really explicit that would make this an R movie. But then also again, you have to think about how the standards of ratings in the 80s versus ratings now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and here we have the homage to Terminator 1, just basically a reshot, minus Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Yep.
R.I.P. Bill.
Yeah.
I don't think he was dead by the time this came out.
Yeah.
Maybe he was in poor health.
Don't.
But I remember, James, you and I went to go see Mad Max. I think that's the first time we saw this trailer, and this reveal was like, oh,
yeah,
this is interesting.
Yes.
So, like,
old Arnold
as an idea, like, this movie does some really cool, interesting things.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that the story goes some cool places.
Well, I would say the story I don't like at all.
Well,
the
thematically maybe.
No, thematically I like the story, but the threats in spoilers 2017 is just garbage.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Tonally, this movie overall feels very juvenile to me, in a lot of different aspects, and I'll kind of bring them up, I guess, as we're going.
Young Arnold moves like the Hulk. He reminds me of how the Hulk moves in the Marvel movies.
Yeah, a lot of just mass and just unaccustomed to.
Yeah,
he has a gait to him that isn't natural.
Yep.
This movie picks odd spots to like be like, hey guys, look, we paid attention to physics, like with the ground crunching under them a moment ago. But then later you've got Arnold standing on a bridge holding up a bus, and it just doesn't pull him over the side, I guess? I don't know.
So part of me thinks that they didn't do the headshot because it would have been too violent.
I agree with that.
If they wanted to keep the PG-13, they couldn't. That's the one thing they couldn't do. They couldn't have it be as gory or violence. Because by all means, like, the headshot would have been what to go through. Because we don't... From what we've seen in the series, there's no reason to suggest that shooting a Terminator in the heart would kill him.
Right.
Well, that's, I think, where kind of the power core is, though, is in the chest area.
Maybe.
Not because the CPU's in the head, if I remember.
Yeah.
But the power generation is in the chest area, so that kind of makes sense to me.
The
Hobo pants.
Yeah. The thumbs up, another homage to Terminator 2.
Yep.
This is cool. I like this whole sequence right here.
Yes.
Even the way he moves, is very much like
Reminiscent,
Terminator 2.
Yeah. Robert Patrick.
Yep.
That's Byung-Hun Lee.
Patrick played the T-1000.
Oh, excuse me.
Right.
Even like when he's standing there, if you watch, he's slightly looking down, like Robert Patrick does.
Like his stiff kind of.
Yeah.
Or I love how he how Byung-Hun Lee interacts with objects.
Yeah, they really explore the capabilities of the T-1000 a lot more in this movie.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, I think it's from a technological feasibility. They can do a lot more with it, but just yes, we'll get into that.
Although that being said, I'm a little disappointed right here. He didn't just put eyes in his feet so we could see where Reese is running around. I mean, right?
Yeah. So, James Cameron is on record stating that like the T-1000 versus T-800 design is supposed to emulate an East versus West design in mechs.
Okay.
Like the West of Arnold Schwarzenegger being like the extremely
just power,
solid power.
Yeah.
Human based or musculature, broad, bulky. While the Eastern is supposed to emulate some of Japan's mech design,
more
where it's
elegant,
more sleek.
Yeah.
Yep.
And here we actually see the that taken to the whole nother level with Byung-Hun Lee as a South Korean actor playing the T-1000.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount had to go after Nike to make these shoes.
Yeah, I read a little bit about that before this too.
They wanted to.
The costume designer kind of contacted Nike over and over again just to make sure they could get the correct shoes for the shots, and they basically ignored her. Was it her? I think
Yes,
it was
it was her.
Until Paramount was like, all right, come on, help us out here.
Because they were worried that people would be like, actually, those are the wrong kind of soles you put on those things.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have that that shoe technology in 1984.
All right, nerds, pump the brakes.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
I get it, the silver mannequin things.
Yeah.
So that was the obvious thing, but I loved this idea of it becoming the mirror, this is something I wish they probably could have done in T2, but couldn't.
It still doesn't look great right there at times, though.
I'm going to be honest, the liquid metal effects in this movie are less convincing to me a lot of the times, and I think it's because it's too reflective in this movie. Also, the sound effects that accompany just about any of the effects, the visual effects for the T-1000 are extra just like slurpy and stupid.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kills humans, all of it.
So watch how the T-1000 drops the gun. It just kind of like lets
Yep.
it fall. It doesn't
Yeah,
throw
which is
it
great.
or,
Yeah.
it just kind of just like loosens its hand or whatever. And
Yep.
Yep.
It's just very.
It's like, whatever, I don't need these.
Yeah. I know, yeah, they do a great job of just emphasizing how inhuman the T-1000 is.
I do
this
like
one.
that they make sure that he shows that he still has mass.
Yeah.
I love that whole sequence,
Mhm.
but it was in the trailer and it took away from it a whole lot.
I agree.
That is the biggest fault of this movie, because we saw this trailer as I was mentioning before we saw Mad Max. I don't know if it was the second one where they spoil the twist in this movie.
Oh, this looks so bad.
That looks really, really, really bad. I don't know. I don't remember the second trailer. All I remember from this trailer is that she says that in the trailer, and I was like, oh, I wish that would have
Been a surprise.
been a surprise. Yeah.
And I do like that that's a line delivered by Sarah Connor's character, but the delivery of it to me feels bad. It's just like, oh, go with me if you want to live. That's the thing I'm supposed to say, right?
Yeah.
It was not convincing to me.
Well, it's always the first line the savior delivers.
Mm-hmm.
So, exposition.
What's a Tamagotchi? Tell me about those.
Yeah.
I can't know any of this because I'm a woman. Just kicks him out.
So basically, this movie is T1, but with 50% more T2.
Yeah, this is fun. I like the idea of this movie a whole lot, actually.
Yeah. He shoots the door off.
That's one of those things that, yeah, it's a good movie moment, but you could have revealed that a whole lot better if you were in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Bonk.
I'm gonna shoot this gun with it under my arm and just dislocate my shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, guys?
50 caliber Barrett.
Jesus Christ! I did not kill him.
I think
I
that's
did
what, I think that's
not.
what that gun is.
Yes.
Don't at me.
It looks like a Barrett 50 cal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Alex just
He
bloop.
just picks him up. Yeah. This. Yeah. Arnold as the Terminator he's so good as the Terminator.
Yeah.
He's also not credited as a Terminator in this. He's credited as the Guardian.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know if they credited him as the Guardian or Pops.
I think
it's
the Guardian.
The Guardian.
Yeah.
This movie should. I mean, here. All right. Problem solved. She calls in dragons and they melt the T-1000.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Skynet is coming.
So really, no fate but what we make isn't a apt line, because it's your fate to be the mother of Connor.
Yeah, but the movie explores. I think it explores that, like, what level of free will do you have in a world that has some preordainedness in it, right? How can you control the things you can control in your life?
Not by much, according to this movie.
Well, because, I mean, every person you only have a sphere of influence that's so large, right?
Right, yeah.
So if you have someone from a different time or alternate timeline that enters that sphere and knows everything that happens outside of that sphere that you don't have influence over, that's going to be very strange.
Yeah.
Apparently, this was supposed to be the song that Ed Furlong's character was listening to in T2 originally, but then they changed their mind to the Guns N' Roses song.
Okay.
I forget which one it was.
Who cares? Guns N' Roses.
Right. Same.
Yep.
I really like Emilia Clarke as an actress. I really do, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like her portrayal of Sarah Connor for most of this entire movie. That's hilarious.
Smiling.
Hilarious. That right there.
They need him for the teeth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's gonna be hard to really beat out. I'm ashamed.
You can't beat Linda Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton.
That's impossible.
So good.
But I mean, I never watched the show, but Lena Headey or whatever her name is, Cersei, to make another connection to Game of Thrones, plays Sarah Connor in the TV show, right? And she consistently always pulls off a very strong, just kind of badass female character. But I don't get that from Emilia in this role at all.
I mean, she looks like Linda Hamilton from a certain angle. They do
It's
as
the hair.
best they can.
Yeah.
With the hair and the lighting. I do get the I was raised by the Terminator aspect from her, like her toughness that you see more in Terminator 2 in this one, but she still has the fire of youth, and I haven't been institutionalized.
Bang.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I'm fine with her performance. It's nothing to rave home about. But none of the actors in this movie particularly are, other than Arnold. Arnold's got some good bits in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really important thing he just did. The whole story hinged on that plot point.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so nitpicking here, but I very much love this. That's a super cool shot.
Just the
collecting himself.
Yeah. This is stupid. You don't have to show this in the car after you show the drive-by collect.
Nope.
Like that to me is a great, very, kind of microcosm example of like interesting and suggestive filmmaking versus showing too much. It's just that very small thing.
editing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Editing.
What?
It's a long I. Read a book.
No, it's the best guy who ever. He's the guy who invented the aspect of changing something up. It's Ed Eiting. That's why it's named that, Max.
Dang, dog.
Come on.
Get woke.
Yeah.
Max is going to put drugs in our drinks the next time he pours us something.
Yeah. So
blah 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 blah
right.
blah.
So my one, like I enjoyed this movie more than I thought it would. I would actually. I remember watching it the first time. I was like, okay, I enjoyed that more than I thought I did. And I watched it the second time. I was like, oh, it's still pretty decent.
Tongo just pushes his foot through the floor.
Yeah.
I need to go fast.
But
sorry, continue.
No, one of the reasons why I think I enjoyed Salvation a whole lot was that it told a different aspect of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And because how many times can you tell effectively the same movie, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same movie. It's not. But if the plot structure is very much the same in 4 of the 5 movies that are out,
by the end of this, it gets feeling like, okay,
yeah, because it starts off really strong.
For sure. This movie starts off on a very, very strong note, and going into this, I didn't know about what's coming after this act finishes.
Yeah,
to a certain extent.
Yep.
Like I thought, like, oh, they're back in time. It's the 80s.
Yeah. See, like if you listen here, why is it so sloshy and slurpy? It
because
wasn't
this
like
movie's made in 2015, and filmmaking has changed.
Yeah. Do better.
Yeah.
Man, she's a bossy lady.
Mm-hmm.
Clunk.
So, again, but nitpicking. Terminator, like T-800s are supposed to be I'm sorry, that was a mistake on my part. I thought that wasn't Arnold. Or I thought that was Kyle Reese dragging the Terminator. And I was first time I saw it, I was like,
Arnie.
I was like, he can't
They
do
weigh like
that.
600 pounds or whatever.
Yeah, they weigh a ton of weight, and that's stupid, nitpicky nerd
Whatever.
nonsense. But
Yeah. But it would have been a good point to make,
Yeah. I mean,
how can man handle machine?
Right.
yeah, and because they've established that a lot in the other movies. I think, in fact, there's another in one of the previous movies. Isn't there a point where like a Terminator dies and falls on somebody and they get trapped?
Maybe in Salvation, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think it's just like I can't get this thing
Thing
that
off
weighs.
Yeah, back when they have like
pounds
the
off
really
of me.
like ugly fat ones.
Yeah,
Or less.
yeah, that's a good line there too.
Yep.
30 seconds or less.
All right, so when I watched
This is cool.
a couple days ago, not the javelin throwing thing right here, but what's about to happen here. Go on, go. Okay, so what happens here, I said, oh, that's cool. We were about to see it. No.
Takes a bunch of
I can't remember the pacing of this fight anymore.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I'm like, oh, like that is a really cool idea
Right.
of being like, oh, it's the medic of Terminators.
Yeah, that's it.
And again, just really exploring the just capabilities of the T-1000 is super cool.
Yes.
Sure. Like, if this movie would have been like, oh, now there's two of them hunting,
Mm-hmm.
like, that would have been like a cool little 80s action-y romp.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the CG's not bad on the T-800 skeleton, but just the animatronics of that were just so good.
Convincing, yeah.
Just, like I was like, grenade me, barret me once, shame on you.
Yeah. Yeah, their little legs are so silly.
Little chicken legs.
I'm also curious to know how the T-800 has any idea where Kyle Reese actually is,
It's a machine. It's smart and such.
I guess.
Science.
Yeah. Clang.
My hand!
Yeah.
God, your hand would be fucking
Here,
Yeah.
that,
excruciating pain.
yeah, just the ringing into your
Oh,
bones
yeah.
from doing that.
Yep. So T-800 is
Don't do this at home,
stopped
Jokes.
by a fog machine. I'll show you about computing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! I'm sure that's the 7,000th time we've made that joke on this show.
Yeah.
This movie
I
is
like that.
weird because it still uses slow-mo in a couple scenes. Which
It's
I
not
feel
excessive,
Like it's totally
I
fallen
don't
out of
think.
favor, though. But it's
Yeah.
super noticeable. Like, you didn't need to have that slow-mo and then the punch into the wall.
I think I agree. I mean, it doesn't bother me that it's there, but I do think it would have been better if both shots were at normal speed.
Is that in slow mo because that's a 3D scene?
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe.
that's a good point. Probably.
I think that's why that's in slow mo, because the head gets shot off and it comes up into the screen.
I can't remember if this was
That's
a,
what you
a
get
3D
for
movie.
for walking underground in Flint.
Oh.
Part of me was like, oh no, xenomorphs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of the first time that hit too. I was like, this movie's about to get awesome.
I would watch that movie. Shut up and take my money.
That might have been some kind of crossover comic. I know there was RoboCop versus Terminator.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care if that is complete fanboy nonsense. Give me a Terminator versus Xenomorph.
Yeah,
movie.
I don't give a fuck. I will watch that shit.
I want to see Arnold throw the alien queen across a courtyard.
Right.
Yep. I'm pretty sure you can have those armies fight in Stellaris.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Shit.
This is a nice little gag, I guess.
Shit,
Yeah.
it's the same thing from T2, but I was the double.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, another homage, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or homage, or whatever how you want to pronounce it. I like the way that she
Homage.
handles this.
Homagi.
Yeah.
Shoot him.
My shoes.
Yeah. Nike's like, come on.
Yeah. I feel like you could have started doing that a lot sooner. All right.
She didn't want to kill her
Yeah.
future baby daddy.
Hmm. This is an interesting alternative to having him melted again.
Yeah.
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 Although, to be honest, I think this would be a less complete way of destruction. But I do like that they did something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it implies that like the individual cells of him are in fact machines and not just goop. So like, hitting him with nitric acid or whatever, like would actually kill him.
But also the scene in T2 where the T-1000 is cast into the molten iron, when it's flailing around and just
It's morphing
changing between everything that it had mimicked. That's such a cool and kind of terrifying scene. Actually, I really like it.
Yeah.
Put some
Rust-Oleum.
WD-40.
Yeah. Gotta put some tussin on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just aerosol tussin. Tussin in a can.
I mean,
also, it's always the right hand of the Terminator that gets all messed up.
Yeah.
Is that the one he does in
Yep.
T2 at the
That's
Dyson
one
family house?
He flays himself.
His hand though still doesn't look great.
No.
And I think the reason why I'm bringing this up is that we've watched movies that are that are far older than this that have better CGI in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I completely forgot about that plot point, Ryan. They didn't shoot him in the head because they needed his CPU.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Good point. Yep.
Take that, us from 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You dicks.
Idiots.
You guys already watched this movie.
I cannot compete you. Oof. Yeah, I'm just not going to comment on any of this.
Yeah, Ryan, please tell us how this works with EMC. Would my radio still work if this was on?
That's easy. It won't. Shut up, be naked, and travel through time.
The low cut top here is a weird.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's really weird to me.
And again, so
particularly for the character.
Yeah, Linda Hamilton's performance was so incredible in T2, but also like her physique is clearly that of someone who has been training like a maniac physically for a long time.
Yeah,
and that's just not something that Emilia Clarke has in this movie. But I'm also I wanted to check before we recorded and I forgot because I feel like she had a kid recently and I'm wondering if this was pre or post baby. I don't know, but I might be wrong.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna do some quick.
I think that was like season 4-ish Game of Thrones,
and I'm not sure. It might be that she's different here because she has a Terminator that's helped protect her.
So she doesn't need to be super fit.
She doesn't need to be like crazy
Fair,
Linda
okay.
Hamilton, but.
Yeah.
But I think that if you're trying to evoke that character, right, which is what they're clearly trying to do here, they're clearly trying to evoke T2, Linda Hamilton, who is ripped, like crazy, like you said, Ryan. Like she looks like someone who's been working out like a maniac because she worked out like a maniac.
Yeah, absolutely.
For that. So if you're trying to evoke that, it's my thing with this shot is that you can put her into situations or outfits or have her act in a way that is very strong. They have her act in a way that's very strong.
Yeah,
she acts.
She's known for being.
Which she's known for being. She's an incredibly strong female lead. She knows what she's doing. She's capable. All that stuff's there, but they still put her in a low cut top, and that's why it feels really weird. Because it feels weird for the character she is now, and it feels weird for the character they're trying to have her emulate. Also,
yeah. You could also argue that this is the young Linda Hamilton that we saw in the first one, who's still like in her 20s.
Yeah, but she's not.
But then again, she's been raised by a machine. So yeah,
raised by a Terminator. Who's
then again, movie made in 2015.
Yeah,
studio requirements, different things. So
because it's clearly her and Pops have been fighting Terminators for like this whole time at this point.
Yeah.
Like this isn't their first rodeo.
Yeah. Bum, bum, boom.
When everything was neon colors, they had the best trapper keepers. And
What
yo-yo
you gonna
balls.
do?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
So that brings up an interesting point that I thought of about before we started recording this, like 5 minutes. Why doesn't Skynet just go kill Kyle Reese's parents?
This is the typical pitfall of any time travel storyline.
Yeah. So do you remember? It's not a good movie. But there's two things that Terminator 3 does that I like a whole lot. One is the ending.
Kill all of his generals.
And then when they go kill all his generals. Like, that speaks to that, and they play with that, and obviously that opens up a whole timeline.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the inflata-boob scene with Kristanna Loken.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking for. But, you know, they've already... They did explore that, right?
Yeah.
But there's nowhere else to go. Once you break open that Pandora's box...
You have, like, we can kill anyone.
I mean, as much as I want to see, like, the Terminator send some dude back into, like... the 1920s, where they're like, like the Roaring 20s version of fighting the Terminator.
Yeah.
Because that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But you know, they're gotta stick here, and I guess a lot. You know, you'd think that some of that happens because, in a lot of reality, Skynet probably doesn't have. Well, when this movie first came out, right? When the Terminator series first came out. Mm-hmm. We hadn't digitized the world like we had before.
Yeah.
Right?
So you could probably argue that Skynet could only send things back to when it knows where people are.
Exactly. So, like, in the 80s is when things like birth certificates and stuff first started showing up in databases, right? Mm. We didn't digitize all of Ellis Island and all these other things. So from a plot perspective, when this first came out, it really was like, okay, yeah, we'll send you back because we know that Sarah Connor is a person who existed, but we don't know who Sarah Connor's parents are because they were born likely in the 60s or 50s, and their stuff isn't in a computer.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's a really good point, I think. Also, coming up in a moment here is a shot that is super stupid, and just kind of lowest common denominator. And I would be less upset about it if they also did it for Reese. But they only do it for Connor. And it's just stupid.
Okay. Is it stupid with a Y?
Yes. STYPID. Does that answer your question?
I do like the story here when they're talking about trying to make moonshine and stuff like it's fun. Like
just trying to
that shot?
No.
Oh.
I mean, no, because Kyle's here without a shirt on.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
No, we're getting to it. Buckle up, buddies. But yeah, I know it's a good story because they're trying to hang on to humanity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Things that are not war and are not Terminators.
Yep.
They're trying to bond emotionally.
Yo, and like the two of them are bonding here, but they're bonding through something that he doesn't. Oh, yeah.
This is
Roger Rabbit.
Really bizarre. And okay, fine.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay, all right.
He doesn't know he's supposed to fall in love with her.
But what does that have to do with a silhouette of a naked woman's body and not also the man's, or just don't do both? Like this is totally unnecessary.
I think he's trying to appreciate it. He's trying to sneak a peek without knowing, without being caught.
I think, yeah, I get the intent of that shot.
But then do it for Reese too.
I get Ryan's intent where like it should be the two of them.
Yeah.
Exploring who each other are, right?
Yeah.
Then have her look at his fucking wangs, flying around or something. I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Looks over and he's just
the reason I think it's done as a one-way for that scene is because she knows what she is supposed to do, but is so inherently resistant to it that she easily could take that peek, but is just trying to be resistant to that quote unquote destiny of hers.
But then it's an interesting idea then
if it happened later in the movie, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and from a narrative standpoint of her seeing it, it's more interesting because from the way I look at it, because then she's like, she is actively resisting it, but she's still dealing with something that's developing, right? The fact that those have rusty 45s and 35s on the sides makes me laugh a whole lot too.
That's a pretty cool line.
Yeah.
Actually.
So one of the things I do like about this movie is you get to see someone emotionally bond with the Terminator, which you just started to get the hints of in Terminator 2, and then he's like, I must go now, John. I'm sorry. I understand why you cry, even though it's something I can never do. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So we've gotten... I'm more interested in seeing that relationship as opposed to seeing that relationship development happen, because it's like, okay, yeah, cheesiness, whatever. So I like seeing that they've established this rapport or whatever that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
he's the protector, but he's still the machine, and he doesn't, you know, he still doesn't get all the idiosyncrasies of humans. But then in like 5 minutes when we see him again,
he's got a lot more.
He's like, bite me.
Yeah.
I to speak to that, I actually wish, because later on we're going to get a little bit of a flashback to when he saves her.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that whole scene wasn't in the movie. I don't need it.
Okay.
Because the rapport that they have already in this opening sequence here establishes how good of a relationship they already have, and how much she loves him and how much she respects him, and the other way. It just doesn't add anything to an already relatively long movie.
So this, sorry to interrupt, but that silhouette reminds me of the Watchmen couples embrace shadow.
Okay, yep.
From the nuke.
Yep.
Again, time travel.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'm going to stand around a lot now.
Yep.
I sent a document to my intern that was formatted really badly that I pulled off of a website, and he complained to me about how badly it was formatted, which was a fair complaint. And then I sent him the website with the rest of the documents that are all formatted poorly with the thing of I am Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look upon my mighty works, or my works mighty, and despair. He was just like, no, these are all bad.
Nice.
The cars getting exploded is cool.
Yeah,
the effect looks cool. Ow.
Ow.
Butt hurt. Yeah, so this movie's able to do just butts tastefully.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty well.
Like, there's no reason that this movie had to be R. I think it just does tons of cool things with being PG-13.
Yep.
I agree, but I miss from the first two movies a lot of the menace that is conveyed through the violence that occurs that gets it. In
so
our
that's
rating.
interesting thing to bring up, and I think that's because at that point Terminators they're alien to us. We don't know a lot about them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I read an article today about why The Thing is still one of the best, if not the best, horror movie. It's because you don't know a damn thing about the alien.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
an alien
so
that
good.
copies things. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to Alien, where we've gotten 2 prequels
Yeah.
and unnecessary sequels where it's just like, okay, yeah, xenomorph, acid blood, space
Yeah,
huggers,
blah, blah, blah.
blah, 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 space rape.
Well, I mean, that's another series that I think suffers from the same problem that Terminator has started to suffer, which is that it's the same movie over and over and over and over again.
Yes. But with both this movie and Alien Covenant, there's been a attempt to reel the series back in to what they originally were lauded for.
But they still are the same movie.
I never said they were good.
Yeah,
I said there's an attempt to bring them back to form.
because
I never said it succeeded.
I just watched Alien Covenant, which, spoiler real quick, if you don't want to hear it, ends the exact same way as Alien and Aliens, where they launch the alien into space.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't want to watch that movie. But
Yeah.
I just don't.
I was thinking more of what happens after they launch the alien into space.
That's cool, but again, like, it's still the same movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's my biggest issue with this, is that they tried to do something different, but at the same time we're like, well, what if we made Terminator?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you don't need to. I to speak to a different soft reboot that I think all three of us enjoy, Casino Royale.
yeah.
Now, we don't need to talk about all the things that came after it, because they didn't really ever capture that all that well again. Some movies they did, some movies they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But Casino Royale does so much that other Bond movies didn't do, while still capturing some of the feel of Bond. Here's the scene I don't think we need.
So she says a T-1000 came to kill her dad. I like the look of the of his double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The T-1000 that came to kill her dad, I think, was the boat. Like, the boat just came alive and killed him. Was it the same T-1000 that they were fighting in the 80s?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
But it just, you're looking for like, okay, what new ground are we treading here?
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah, so it's interesting. One of the thoughts I had when I watched this movie for the first time the other day was the whole movie is almost like a Ben's dad or a Batman's parent situation. Like, I'm kind of tired of seeing this on the silver screen.
Peter Parker's uncle, you mean?
Peter Parker. Yeah.
Uncle Ben?
Yeah,
Uncle
that's
Ben.
what I meant to say. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, Uncle Ben or Batman's parents being killed. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen this so many times already. I don't know. It's so familiar that it's become boring.
So
someone I follow on Twitter made a supercut of every time Batman's parents get killed.
Oh boy.
So
like 9 hours long.
if this wasn't a soft reboot and instead was them saying, hey, we're not going to make any Terminators again ever, I think this movie has a different feel to it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, yeah, they made another Terminator, but this is kind of a big, wet, sloppy kiss to the good Terminator movies, right? I don't think it makes it a good movie, but I think you walk into it kind of with a different idea.
Well, I didn't know about the potential sequels to this until I started watching this and was looking into, like, okay, what's this movie's, like, gory backstory? And then I'm like, okay, yeah. Because you can see it kind of mean, like, the fact that they moved them up to 2017, like, okay, they're doing something. If they would have left it in the 80s and now it's Terminator 1, but different, I would have been like, okay. But
I really enjoy J.K. Simmons.
Yes, I do too.
last scene in Spider-Man 3.
Quick aside.
He is a Michigan treasure.
Yes, he is. If you haven't seen Whiplash, it's very good, which I'm sure
so
I
good.
recommended before, but it's a great movie, mostly because of J.K. Simmons.
I have not seen Whiplash.
Oh,
so.
he's super good in it.
Yeah,
Have you speaking of movies that two of the three of us have seen, have you watched Sicario yet?
It might still be in the wrapper.
So, okay.
Boo.
Set her on fire. See if she burns.
Yep.
The unburned.
Bluetoothing while he's surgerying.
Yeah.
So this movie came out in 2015. If this technology came out today, people would be like, no, we are not linking everything together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, we see young Kyle Reese get the tablet, which is like, oh, you're going to have Genisys when it comes out. What 10-year-old is going to get excited about an app or software that's going to link together all of his stuff?
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
I'm 29 and I wouldn't be excited about that. I'm not 29 yet.
I mean, kids just like opening shit.
Yeah, this is true.
yeah.
I also enjoy opening shit.
This guy looks like overweight Carl Urban. Or Urban, however the hell you say
Urban.
it. I don't know. Taika Waititi in the director's commentary for Ragnarok said he prefers to be called Urban. So I don't know if that was a joke or not.
I don't. Yeah.
Because no one can tell with Taika.
Yeah. I thought that the cop looks like a slightly blurred version of Seth MacFarlane.
It's interesting.
Slightly. Or if I don't know who the actor who played Al Borland from Home
Yeah,
Richard Karn.
Richard Karn.
Never
weight.
forgot it. Richard Karn. That's how time works. Thanks, JK.
Yeah. This would be so weird though.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it?
absolutely.
Yep. Huh.
Yeah, he's like, I like that. He's like, yeah, he does that exactly. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Blah, 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 blah.
I feel like we missed an opportunity with the T-1000 to watch Reese get cut into pieces. I feel like there are jokes there.
Womp womp.
It's a very sincere growl.
Yep.
You're high. You're drunk.
Yeah.
I do like this fake fight they have here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take me to Westeros.
No touching.
The TV show?
I gotta go write more bad shows.
Oh boy.
No, Seth MacFarlane shout out. Actually, his Star Trek joke show is pretty darn good.
Orville?
Orville is good.
You've been back and forth on that since it came out.
No, it's good when he's not being Seth MacFarlane.
Mm.
If you understand what I mean by that.
Sure. When
Yeah.
he's not being Seth MacFarlane, or when the show is not being Seth MacFarlane?
No, he direct or he stars in the show.
I know.
Yeah, so when his character is being the character he can be and the Star Trek kind of foil, it's good. When he's just being like haha joke guy, it's not good.
That makes sense.
Anyway.
Like another Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
I watched his Hilarity for Charity special on Netflix yesterday.
Oh, okay.
One too many dick jokes.
Okay.
The last one is like, oh God,
Sounds
really?
like-
But
This is a reveal because I don't remember have seen this in a trailer.
okay.
And you're
So-
like, oh,
You're like, what?
Well, this isn't the reveal.
It's a reveal.
It's a reveal.
Well, okay, so we'll get to it when we get to it because it's not far away. But
Also, in this shot, it was clear. Sorry, just real quickly, that Amelia Clarke is like what 5 foot even that they show later on.
yeah, she
Yeah.
is a short human.
You should know that he's a Terminator immediately because he's wearing a squared off tie.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, motherfuckers!
This is an actual tie. Danny Dyson, son
Right.
of Miles Dyson from Terminator 2.
Yep.
And that's just something that the second movie did so well, was just like emotionally, the whole scene where Sarah Connor's just attacking the Dyson family was just crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy in the original movie.
Bitch be cray.
Yep.
Jensen and Burke. They've got their own, buddy cop sideshow going on.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons like,
Just
let me tablet harder and faster.
Yeah. Old Arnold.
Yep.
Apparently, that's just his hair.
It is,
Apparently.
yeah. He
Yep.
just stopped dyeing it.
Yep. Good old Arnie.
I don't know how it's
Yeah.
gonna... You guys ever see an anime called Summer Wars?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
It's basically like, what if Nintendo made a social network that like all of like utilities and stuff and banking were like integrated into, and then like someone drops a virus in it?
Huh.
It's very cutesy and such, and has a lot of good feels to it, but it was just, I don't know. It's a movie that explores the horrors of the interlinked system, without it being like apocalyptic.
Okay.
Pretty well.
Interesting. Nagadosha.
That is a tiny town in Texas, by the way. So that's
Really?
a really weird call out to hit on that. Clint Dempsey of the U.S. men's national team is from Nacogdoches, Texas, which is the only reason I know about Nacogdoches, Texas. Also, that's a really fun word.
It is.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Dude, open your damn mouth.
He wouldn't look this ugly.
Yep.
That ought to buff right
You
out.
an ugly motherfucker.
You sound like shit. I'm mad that you're my mom.
Yeah.
I will never not get used to Amelia Clarke with brown hair. Or not
Yeah.
white hair.
Ah.
Too many negatives in that sentence.
No, isn't brown blonde. Move.
Yep.
Move. I like to move it. I mean, you could just put her in your pocket and run. I'm not making fun of her. It's just it's a stark contrast to just everybody else in this movie.
Yeah. Well, they are all tall.
Yeah.
Yes. But I feel like 2015 was the first time that we really, as a culture, started looking at this as a theme.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there was for a long time, like for a couple years now, people have been talking about like the internet of like nonsense. Where it's like, why is your toaster connected to the internet? Like, as hilarious as it is that your toaster will toast the day's weather into your toaster,
Right.
Like, you don't need that. And,
Yeah.
and I think what really keyed off on a lot of it is the fact that all of those things have the basic like Bluetooth code of 0000. So all that stuff's been weaponized now.
Yep.
Right. I think
Right.
that was the turning point, was when that stuff stopped being nonsensical and whimsical and turned into something that was dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unless you were like, even if you were mildly tech savvy, you could have an idea of it. But most people to that level weren't. They didn't understand where that could go.
Yeah.
Because when you tell someone all their Bluetooth passwords are the same, it's like, okay, why? Why do I care about that? But
Yeah.
try to explain a botnet to somebody, and you're not gonna try to explain a botnet to your grandma and see how far that takes you.
Or blockchain.
Yeah.
And that's probably this 2015 also, I think, is the part where we started hearing more and more things about how like you can do less and less work in your car because of all the computer stuff in it.
Yeah.
And like services on like tractors or whatever. You have to like call a John Deere guy with the USB drive.
Yeah.
Which fun fact that I just happen to know, Ukraine is like the hub of like black market tractor technology because it's the Kansas of Europe.
Huh.
There's a very large Supreme Court case going on right now about that, actually, about tractor software and repair methodology.
Do you think that tractors murdered a bunch of people after Judgment Day in
Probably
this movie?
started to
It's
just
not
run people
maximum
over.
overdrive.
Yep.
It probably was pretty similar in some aspects.
The shotgun and the bear.
I like that
The callback
because
to
it calls back to
the
earlier in the
Roses.
movie.
Moses.
Yeah.
Yep.
It wouldn't matter. You could just have a kid and be like, "Hey, guess what? You're gonna get shot. Watch out."
Right.
Wear a vest.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Arnold looks good with gray hair.
Let
Yes, he
my
does.
people go.
But he
Just-
forgot to stop dyeing his eyebrows.
Speak. Say something. As with all movies, if you just said a word, things
Yeah.
could get
Yep.
solved
Yeah.
here.
How have they been in the parking lot this long, just unassailed by
Okay,
security?
so this was the twist they spoiled in the second trailer.
I don't remember
okay.
that.
Yeah. I remember seeing the scene in the second trailer where they show like him stand back up and be all machiny and being like, well, I don't need to see this movie now.
Yeah.
The director, Alan Taylor, was like, don't do this.
Oh, really?
Marketing was like, we need to ensure people it's not a reboot of the first movie.
Who cares? The first movie's
Marketing,
good.
apparently.
Yeah, that's always been an interesting aspect of Hollywood that I've wondered a lot about, like, for exactly those reasons, spoiling really important or entertaining stuff
Yep.
against the director's will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that after he got back up, he healed the facial scar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, though, in this time...
Goddamn time traveling robots coming at the goddamn tracks.
Which begs the question, all right, so he just healed his facial scars, but in this timeline, he's been, like, developing stuff with the Dysons. He's a functioning member of society.
Yeah.
Have they all come to know John Connor as having that scar? Or did he just reapply the scar as he met
He
these
reapplies the
guys?
scar to infiltrate with John Reese because John knows him as like,
Right,
oh,
I
you
mean,
have that fucked up face.
I get
Yep.
that logic, but the movie doesn't really explain that that's what he does.
This is
You don't-
brutal right here,
yeah.
too, by the way. When they show everybody's
I don't
dead in the
think
room.
Again, it's part of the show and tell thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it needed. I think that's implied because you see him talking with Dyson later, and his face
It's
isn't
normal.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
So, I like this cut because he's actually menacing. Skynet is menacing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like him just walking through the room full of everybody
scorched
else
bodies.
dead is amazing. That's like
Mhm.
such a cool, quick shot.
yeah.
And to speak to Max's point, it's from a low angle. It speaks
Yeah.
back to those old shots.
Mm-hmm. Back when people were showing feet in a non-creepy way.
Okay, so I get narratively why this would happen, but they should not have had him touch Sarah Connor. because this whole thing, right? He can touch them and make them like him.
Yeah.
Right? He hugs her earlier.
Mm-hmm.
From a movie logic standpoint, it makes no sense why he wouldn't just walk in the room and be like, "You're a robot. You're a robot now."
Yeah.
Right. He should have met them from a distance.
He's still him. He's not like, I am a cold, emotionless machine. I don't know. I don't know. He wants to actually live with them. I don't.
The only thing that speaks to me a little bit is what Skynet says there. Right? He says, I'm Skynet. And he said, well, no, we killed you. And he says, you killed an army of slaves.
Yeah.
So the only thing that to me that speaks there is that this version of John and the Skynet that spoke to him is saying the way that I want to live in the future is with people who have accepted these things, right?
Sure.
I don't want people turned into robots just to make them slaves to me.
Right. Yeah.
Myth confirmed.
That thing would not bounce off those walls. It would go straight through.
Right.
Those things will go. Those pressurized cylinders will go through cement cinder blocks.
Like I
cinder
said,
block walls.
myth confirmed.
Yep.
This is a fun scene. I like
the MRI scene.
Well, just this whole brawl inside the building.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking about the action scenes in 2017, and this one I like. It's close quarters. It's in a confined space.
So
it works for the movie.
Yeah, you say 2017 in reference to the movie's timeline.
The movie timeline.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. 2017 in movie timeline. There are a lot of. It's a lot of close shots, tight corners, tight sets. But later in the movie, there's all the scenes are outside. They're bigger scale. They're bigger scope. And I don't like them. And I think that's because of just these movies. These movies work better when you have a small, it is a single individual hunting you. It works better on a more personal level as opposed to the larger macro scale.
I love that shot.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool effect.
That's such a cool effect. Yeah, no, it's the same way that vampire movies work so much better in confined spaces, right? Because it's a intimate hunter.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
can't escape it.
It's not a feral hunter or something like that. Like this is a smart thinking machine. Whereas like a werewolf works far better in a open space idea because it's you and the nature
you throughout the yeah. But
I'm experiencing discomfort.
Yeah. So that, to speak to effects, that effect looks really good.
Yeah, the particle technology on the nanobot stuff works perfectly. Or it looks good.
Yeah.
Part of me really wishes they would have just kept this whole thing up through the whole movie.
I want to see the movie where it's just
2 minutes too late to everything.
2 minutes too late to everything.
That's the entire movie.
Like the whole movie. Like he never ever meets up with them again.
Yeah, that would have been good.
And then they talk to him about what's going on at the end. Like the news crew's talking to him. And they're just like, can you confirm any of this?
A
And he's
machine
like,
from the 80s.
Yeah.
Came back and brought it to a department store. Exposition.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Machine phase matter. Tell me more.
I'm not going to question why both the T-1000 and the T. John Carter can go back in time.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I like the even they're still talking in like machine phrases. Maximum combat utility.
Yeah. The Swiss Army Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Science. Trust us.
Yeah.
Salala.
Yeah.
Level. But I'm from the future.
That's speciesist, Reese.
Ooh, shit. Time to kill my kids.
So how have you guys liked this beer as we've been drinking it? Ryan and I are both done.
I mean, it's good. I like it. I mean, I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah.
But I like it.
It's a nice little treat, I would say.
I don't think I'm as disappointed as James, but it's I'd give it like a 3.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Look at that nice clean face, no scars.
So
Good old Johnny C.
Yep.
So presumably because Arnold destroyed all of the surveillance equipment, that's why they don't know that he is a robot now, right?
Robot.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
What were you saying there, James? You
I
kind of
don't know.
So
either my mind just kind of went.
no, those I'm not quite sure what those laser bots are doing. Did that matter? Besides, sort of making human shapes.
I think it's supposed to be sort of like a magnetic field generator, which is kind of making them in human shapes, just to show the.
Trying to do it.
I think it's show. Yeah, I mean it's obvious what they're setting it up for.
Yeah, I get that, but from a utility standpoint, it doesn't make any sense. Although this is Silicon Valley, where they
Silicon Valley will. I've written down here. Silicon Valley will be the death of us all. It's basically like we're making a time machine because we can.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Actually,
And that right there too.
Boom. Yeah. I have more chin than man.
just because I've just been liking seeing him in more stuff lately, I would have liked to have seen Michael B. Jordan in this role as Danny Dyson.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is our generic hand-wavy app that does all the things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why is Johnny Cochran selling software?
The actor playing Danny Dyson is Dayo Okunyi, who is from Nigeria.
Okay.
Oh, and that's the older gentleman is Courtney Vance, who is playing Miles Dyson. Which they never actually say that's who that is, but
They kind of hint at that, right?
Yeah, they do. They nudge at it.
Yeah.
I never made that connection watching this. I'm like, oh, it's just some other executive. This is a very progressive Silicon Valley.
Again, maybe nitpicking, but I'm also bummed that John Connor he doesn't look at all physically capable of being in any sort of combat.
Nope. Looks like he's trying to just have an orgasm with that machine console.
I mean, yeah. If you have an orgasm machine, you use it.
No, he's touching it and
Yeah,
just
I
being
know.
oh, binary code.
Give me them sweet zeros and ones. Give me just a nibble. Okay, how about a bite? Coding terms.
Like a megabyte.
Mm-hmm. A nibble is a
So
thing.
this movie goes
It's true.
from time travel to shenanigans to the integrate everything threat, which is a huge disconnect. I don't know.
I do like that. Can he make jokes?
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. The threat of this movie. I don't know. I think the Terminator movies have been around for 30 some years now, so they have to keep upgrading what is the technological threat, throughout these series. And we've gotten to the point where this is the threat now, and it's boring.
Yeah, time travel still looms over all of it, though, right?
Yeah, but the integrate everything horror story, maybe I should be scared that that's not scary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Do you guys
that
find
a
this
gun?
it's supposed to be endearing, but it's
That he's kept all the photos and the drawings.
but it seems really sad.
Yeah, because he misses her. There's some moments.
Okay. All right, so I took those drawings in the completely different direction. I took those that he was making those drawings.
No, no.
I like that.
God,
better. That's way better.
I do like this masculinity off they have here.
Yeah, like the idea that he listened to all these things and he has pictures of her and he's trying to become more human, right? So the thing that he saw her do was draw pictures of the two of them.
So he tried to do the same.
So he tried to do the same.
That's a really interesting theory.
Because that paper is not yellowed or old or anything. It's new paper.
Nah.
It's also I don't know.
It hasn't been
It's
that
got the
long.
weird filter.
It's
on
only
it right
been
now.
23.
I do like this. This is the second or third time we've seen him kind of
Yeah.
arthritis out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only been, 33 years, Ryan.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
been more because it's
They're
40 some years because it was the 70s when he first appeared.
No, 84 to where
No,
those drawings.
he showed up. The
Yeah,
paper.
the paper.
I thought you meant like the T. Arnold.
Yeah. T. Arnold.
So,
Arnold.
I know the answer to this quandary, but I also wonder if Arnold has all these things in this bunker not for himself, but for Sarah, so that when she gets here, she can see these other things and feel more comfortable. And it's more of a tactical move from him to make her feel better than it is to feel him feel better. Make him feel better. I know that's not what it is, but I think that's a possibility.
No, I think it's a possibility
It's a
for sure.
possibility also in the uncertainty of what the future has to hold. Because you imagine that like he's obtained these weapons over 30 years or whatever. So it's like, well, now I need to get these new flechette rounds or whatever. Well, I only can get that in a 12 gauge. Well, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is her comfort zone, right? Like she's been a mercenary
by a man with a bazooka.
Yeah, her whole life. So if she comes back, she doesn't have to exist in the future as it exists right now. She can exist in her bunker that she knows of, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone dies, you bitch. Specifics.
But seeing the Terminator or the Guardian, you know, develop or have this fondness and attention to a host, we'll just say, is something that, you know, was vaguely touched on in Terminator 2 that we never got to see explored further. We never got to see it in Terminator 3 because it ends with him destroying himself again.
Yeah, he's more friendly in Terminator 3, though. He's more trying to build a rapport in that one while he's around.
Yeah, because we've already seen... Well, you don't want him to be the same Arnold that he was in the previous one.
Yeah, but you don't... I mean, I get what you're saying. You don't have, like, the decades of him being like a human right here. But this isn't the first time we've seen them take the Terminator and make him more like a buddy guy.
Yeah. But this is my favorite of the buddies.
Yeah, he plays a really good role in this, for sure.
Because he's been the father figure for 40 years.
Mm-hmm. In which, in the second movie, he's obviously the surrogate father to.
Yeah, but he's only around for a couple days or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
And Sarah's monologue is, she sees that, he like what she said, like he'll never come home drunk, he'll never yell at him, he'll never hit him.
He'll never hit him.
Yep.
Always watching, always protectful or whatever.
And he'll die for him. Blah 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 blah. Fate, time travel, predetermined existence. Blah 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 blah.
I mean, they're exploring the concepts here. I'm okay with it. I know, but I'm okay with it.
I forget. Did they explain how John found them?
Yes. Right here.
Yep.
Did you honestly think? Blah 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 blah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. She himself.
I wouldn't
told
remember
him where it was in the future. Like he's made of graphene.
I like the rebuild sequence there because it actually rebuilds him like he's a human being.
Yeah,
it rebuilds the bones and then the
first,
muscles.
And then the muscles. And
Yep.
It's a weird... it's a weirdly similar situation to the TX model or whatever from the third movie, because it's supposed to be, it has liquid metal plus it's got like machine-y stuff in it.
Yeah,
it can change its hands into blades and shit.
Be like a smart bomb, because that's what in the second movie John Connor's like, well, why does it just turn into a bomb and come blow me up or some bullshit? It's like, well, it doesn't have smarts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fool you by looking like my future self.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get all emotionally attached like a meat bag.
Right. I got my scars again. And, John has a small mouth. This guy has a big head.
Yeah.
He blinks a lot.
Blankety blank. It's very dry in this bunker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, my guns.
There would just be so many rounds going off.
Yeah.
This would be a very unpleasant bunker. I looked like Amelia Clark in that shot.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a stunt double.
He's in. I feel like this is also a little bit more jokey than all the other Terminators.
I haven't seen
the movie. The movie, I mean.
I haven't seen 3 in so long.
Yeah.
I saw 3 in theaters the day it came out, and I don't think I've seen it since.
Yeah, that's the only reason I won't. I can't say for sure is because of that. Because I remember that movie being really off.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool because I was like, yeah, sweet, a female Terminator, and then it was just they did the wrong things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good shot of him walking out on fire.
Yeah. I hate school.
What do you think, Shin? Should we go after them?
I wonder if he hears a small whoosh every time he turns his head because of the
wind resistance.
It's a plot device.
Yeah.
It's a handheld plot
I
device.
originally thought it was supposed to be like I'm fixing my hand.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah. That's interesting.
Like a wrist support kind of thing,
Like the robot version of those nonsensical copper bracelets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought it was.
Whee!
Pew, 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 pew.
This is working just as well as the T-800 worked earlier in the movie.
It's a little less good.
I can't see through metal.
Oh, just waste all your bullets.
Yeah.
All right, they're on the bridge. Officer Boyle here. Dun-dun. So there are maybe 2 times in this whole movie where the really well-known Terminator score kind of swells in at the beginning and I think at the end as far as the music.
Yep.
And I'm actually okay with that because for me this is great.
Yep.
And that's another recurring
that was a
line.
Shot. Yeah.
Is get out, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Because the score from the first 2 movies, especially the second one, is so, to me, iconic. I'm glad that it's in this movie less because I don't think it deserves to have it be throughout the film.
Okay.
Yeah, there is such a big difference in the soundtrack between 1 and 2 because of the time difference between when those 2 movies were shot. Terminator 2 being like the much more like cinematic, kind of with like the horns and whatnot. Well, the first one, it's a lot more like electronic and it's mid 80s, so it's got that kind of new wavy almost kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
But.
So
Oh.
I know inertia is a thing, but if you pulled your foot off the gas in a school bus, I don't think that it would continue accelerating down the bridge.
Yeah.
You never know.
This was an actual shot. I know that they actually did this. This is a live shot.
Really?
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
They actually flipped the school bus.
Eat it, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. The Dark Knight shot. Yeah.
No, I don't know about that shot.
I don't think they tore up that much concrete on the Golden Gate Bridge.
I know they
Well, I call
the wire just cuts through.
Yeah. The tension wire is just like...
They actually did flip the bus.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a stunt, man.
Yep. Good on you, movie.
And again, just practical effects are always better than computer effects. Almost always.
Yep.
Ugh.
This feels like a Spider-Man movie.
Yep. Or Jurassic Park 2.
Yeah.
Just how I usually felt on buses to begin with, or in general. Boo.
Look at me.
This is...
Obvious green screen.
It's still cool, though.
The little flip thing was cool.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yep.
And the car's still going.
The
That's
car's still
awesome.
going. Yeah.
The weird little slow-mo there.
That like
Spider John.
Yeah. That when you're talking about menacing right there, Max,
Yeah.
I think that's doing a cool aspect of him being menacing, right?
Yeah. It's when they do, when you see them do things that normal humans can't do.
Right.
That's super menacing. And not in a comedic way, like Arnold flying through the windshield.
Yeah.
Like, this makes no sense as to why Arnold just doesn't topple forward. What's keeping him from going that direction?
He's a machine.
Get that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Done, and look at that bad green screen.
Yeah, that splash is not great.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough. I like this assessment coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the little probability thing.
Two adult males and a preteen woman in leather.
I like the cops theme.
Yeah.
And this, like, that's actually a great shot because there's so much of the frame. That's
Need
great.
them for their teeth. I call that a lazy eye.
He would know what keys are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know this man who also has my fingerprints. Why would you bring a child in for this?
Right.
Just happens to be named also Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
No,
he doesn't.
not at all. That
You're
guy's
very
discount Wayne Rooney.
You're very un-Jai Courtney-like.
Yeah. At first, I thought he was Wayne Rooney. That's a fun little call right there where he's messing with them for what happens here in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Same Homeland Security guys.
Hey, that dude fix his eye yet?
Lurch. Jeez. Then he doesn't speak English. I like that too.
Yeah. Because he didn't. Well,
Pretty much didn't.
Pretty much didn't.
Terminator.
Yep. 64 words.
There are 3. Crank. Whoa.
I like how it's the chain on the handcuffs that snaps and not like the ring comes off of the table.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What a twist.
Yeah.
Crickety crunch.
That's a good little switch. This is a good switch with all the police station sirens.
Terminator 1.
Again, all these kinds of things are great because they're callbacks that you don't have to understand.
Yeah,
right.
But it feels very much in the vein of 1 and 2.
And 1 and 2.
The highway chase up until the bus went off the bridge, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Put a napkin on that wound.
Thanks, time traveler lady.
Yeah.
All right, go. I'm just gonna push you down the stairs. It's faster.
Yeah. Even in this shot, that tiny kid is taller than she is.
Yeah, no, right. They're basically the same size.
And we have the water going down the hand.
Yeah.
You think it's gonna go this way, but will it? No. It goes the other, and that's chaos theory there.
You do plan to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur toy.
I really hate that, man. That line is so well delivered.
A lot of interjections into a much better movie.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit just about chaotic internal action sequences like this. The movie, the second movie, when Sarah's being broken out of the asylum or whatever, the just the feeling of menace and the ominousness of the Terminators in that whole scene, I think, is enhanced because a lot of the people you see
Enhance.
that are injured or killed by the Terminators or by Sarah are people that the movie has built a little bit of character development with, just a little bit. Mm-hmm. You've got the doctor guy, you've got a couple of the nurses. It's a smaller group of people that interact overall, but you interact. It's a quality over quantity thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So it adds a little more gravity to the stuff that happens, is I guess what I'm getting at.
Yeah, because this movie starts to fall into like the whiz bang big sequence here, like the helicopter chase here, as opposed to a much more intimate
and that's
fight
exactly what I was
inside the building.
Earlier, yeah. Like, oh yeah, they're in that confined space. Mm-hmm. You know, there aren't a lot of cuts in the action scenes.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Chunk.
But yeah.
Pow pow pew 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 pew.
Bang bang.
So we missed I think we were talking over a line earlier when J.K. Simmons talked about having a weapon, to blow doors
the magnetic entry route.
Yeah.
It was.
And he says, for those who can't do it themselves. I guess that was an ad-libbed line from J.K. Simmons.
Nice.
I'm ready. I'm waiting for like a Dark Knight theme to start playing here. Bum.
Yeah.
Bum. 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 Bum.
Okay, he got that helicopter up quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part man, part helicopter.
Yeah, like this feels so out of place for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is when I started checking out of this movie.
Because I mean, like for as kind of silly as the bus sequence becomes, it starts off pretty normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a highway chase. We've seen those.
Yeah.
And just something that I noticed watching Terminator 2 with Kayla for the first time a couple months ago, there are some super short shots of the T-1000 in a helicopter when he's got 4 arms. For those of you who may not have noticed that, because it is only a scant few frames that show it.
Yeah, you showed that to us. It's really cool.
I had never noticed that.
Yeah, he's got 2 piloting the chopper, then he's got guns.
So speaking of which, Terminator 2, both R-rated movies, but both movies I definitely knew about when I was under the age of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I had seen Terminator 2 when I was fairly young.
So thinking back to those movies, I wonder if they would be R in today's world.
They would maybe have to cut. Well, like I was saying, like they do a lot of the shots from the first one. Well, the beginning scene, and they just tone back on. They use their fucks sparingly, but I don't think those movies would be R unless you want to have the like Arnold doing surgery on himself.
Yeah, that would be the scene in the second. Even in the first one.
Both of them.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of the
going
first
like
one.
His
When
eye,
he pulls
right?
his eye out.
Yeah.
And like
the
does
second
surgery
one
on
with
his
the
hand.
forearm. And I mean, the first movie's got a little bit of nudity with Linda Hamilton, right?
Sex scene.
Yeah.
And Arnold, his butt. But just butts.
Yeah, just butts.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's much. If anything, it would be a soft R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the second one definitely is, other than the flaying thing.
Yeah.
There's a subtle thing there that I like is that when he leaves the helicopter actually shifts up.
Yep.
He jumps out.
He's just doing Luigi's horizontal smash attack, Super Smash Brothers.
Wahoo!
But yeah, so you guys remember seeing Terminator at a young age? Terminator 2, probably.
Terminator 2, yeah. And I remember the fence scene terrified me.
When he walks through the...
No, in Terminator 2, when Linda Hamilton's at the fence and the bombs are going off.
Goes
Oh,
off.
yeah, that's... Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did something primal to me. Scared me in a very deep way.
Yeah.
Because the effects were so,
Yeah, they
convincing.
just put some practical skeletons on there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I thought he stabbed him in the head, based off how his hand was.
Yeah.
It's not...
That looks terrible.
Yeah. It's not super clear that he's copying the guard's voice in that scene either.
No.
And,
Thought he may have, but I don't know.
Is there actually a helipad there, or is it just conveniently shaped?
I think it's just
It's
conveniently
Silicon
shaped.
Valley. Everything is conveniently shaped.
Yeah. The time sequence here between these two is confusing to me, I'll be honest with you. Like, they were above him in the helicopter.
Yeah.
They crashed the helicopter.
No, he crashed the helicopter. Or yeah,
The helicopter.
They crashed his helicopter.
They crashed his helicopter. It crashes, explodes, falls into the lake. He has time to exit the lake, do all of this stuff, and then they land. Like that, the time sequence of that seems very odd to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete.
Yeah.
It would be much better if the Windows operating system did this when the computer fucked up.
God,
Yeah.
we're at Coachella now.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
So I think that's an interesting thing they don't explore in this a lot, right? John makes Skynet believe that it's going to be murdered before it even comes online. Right? He talks about that it talks about that right there.
You're gonna try to
John told me you were going to kill me. So because with the other Skynets, right, it comes online and it's like within, I mean, it's a quick time frame, like, right? That's funny.
Yeah.
It's a quick time frame within like 15 minutes or however long it determines that humanity's going to destroy it, so it kills humanity. But John has spent this entire time convincing what will be Skynet that humanity is going to murder it. He is ensuring that this is going to happen.
Yeah,
which is interesting from the menacing standpoint that you were talking about. There's not a menace to them. There's a menace overall to everything. Right? He's not, until the helicopter sequence, he wasn't actively trying to kill them. He's been trying to convert them.
the bus, but
I mean, even there, you don't know. I mean, he's
whenever I say I don't know during this podcast.
Yeah, he's been trying to convert them mostly.
Yeah, he's like, I want to be friends.
Yeah,
I also want to see the short film of Arnold being on the construction crew.
Yes, I want to see that as well, like a DVD extra.
Oh, yeah. Only the. By the way, guys, only the plot useful portion of the time machine is complete.
Of course.
Yeah. This is a cool sequence. I'm assuming it's PG-13 they couldn't do the shot of him pulling himself all the way through it without it being R.
It would have been too long too. It was a long ass whatever the hell he threw at him.
Right, but they show him for 5 seconds there pulling himself forward with the face.
Yeah. I don't need the entire
I don't want him to go through the whole thing, but if they're going to show that shot, I would think that's an easy edit to stop getting an R rating.
Yep. Oh yeah, so they use laser and a magnet to make shapes.
Yep.
Without the CPU, it's harmless. I wonder.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Yeah. There's a lot of
potential rail deaths.
Yeah. Yeah. The Empire definitely did not build this facility. There's way too many safety rails.
Yep.
The ladder.
I like
It'd be
too
so hot in that room.
Yeah.
I like too that the safety rails on some of the corners don't just dead end into like the bars, that they actually go around the pillars.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's way more complicated. Like that.
Oh yeah.
But that's so Silicon Valley at the same time too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was extra access points, I guess.
Yeah.
I like how it's getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird line. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Pew pew. Ah.
That's a cool.
Yeah.
A good shot.
And then there was John Carter. Not John Carter. John Connor.
John Carter. Just make her a Ralbert.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he actually can do that, but
I mean, he offers it earlier in the movie.
yeah.
But if he makes her,
like, I can make you robot with robot tech I have at my
but again,
Valley. My startup.
Yeah,
my startup is making people into robots.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if it harkens back to the fact that he's supposed to convince them to join him. Like, he doesn't want to just force them to do it because then he's as bad as humanity, right?
I wonder though. If you were to turn her into a robot right now, how could she give birth to him? Is that possible?
These three are decoupled from time. Apparently, is what they talk about earlier in the movie, which is a convenient plot device to not worry about any of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't press it. You press the thing.
Yeah.
Ow.
So that's probably how he gets to where he needs to go. Before they can get there, he just nanoswarms.
Nanoclouds.
Yeah, he's not actually in the helicopter. He just nanoswarms out of the helicopter.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Or how he gets out of the lake or river or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to make this movie make sense. I would need another bottle of Batch 8000 to try to do that.
You don't have one, do you?
No.
All right.
No, I don't.
The magnet fists are cool.
The swoosh.
The magnet cestus.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot right
Yeah.
there too. Part of me wishes they would have done more with him being goofy and weird.
I like how he just kind of like strips the flesh off of his arm.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like they do a lot of really neat stuff right here that we don't get to see him
it's
do.
final scene. So
Yeah.
blah blah.
I don't
blah.
wanna.
Shoot the camera.
Where you
You're not
going?
my dad. Magnet punch.
Magnet punch.
Blue Falcon.
Okay. Hey.
Hey.
I'm glad this movie's almost over.
Lasers.
Laser sword.
1,000
Why are you
baggers
closing
with
them in
laser swords.
sequence? Just close them all at the same time.
Yeah.
For dramatic effect. I understand dramatic effect now.
Just pull out the. And he becomes Matt Smith.
Yep.
Oh no.
Blah blah blah.
He looks really creepy
So-
as this hologram.
Yeah,
Bald Matt Smith.
I don't know what. That's cool. I don't know
Yeah.
why they had to make that cut back again, though. Like, yes, we get that it's
We
Matt
get it,
Smith.
yes. I was saving that last bullet for myself, but I couldn't stand that smug British fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, because Kyle had to recognize it
Yeah,
as
but-
the same face from
But
before the time travel.
But Kyle can just tell us that.
Yeah, or they did
Like,
it
we should
once
be able to
when-
pick up
when
on it.
John was like, I got infected by Skynet when you were in the time portal.
Yeah. I mean, I get it for like the audience that hasn't been paying as close of attention, maybe, but I don't know. I think that sometimes modern movies think too little of their audience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about how stupid the average person is.
I mean,
and the other half of the people are even stupider.
I just
Oh boy, topics for other podcasts.
yeah. This is like what happens when you fight a final boss in a fighting game.
Yep.
Right.
Like how he just Honda punched him in the back.
Yeah.
Yep. Ow.
Got your arm.
Stylistically,
Yeah.
I like this, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look great.
No,
Robot's
it doesn't.
That's how Ultron should have been designed. That's how you give a robot lips.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Because I have a heart and a soul, motherfucker.
Yeah, this is cool. Again, this is cool. That's practical.
Callback.
It's got to be practical.
Mm-hmm.
If not, it's really good looking.
Yeah.
I think it's practical.
Beat him with the arm.
Give me a hand.
I like how he doesn't put the human skin back on in this last fight.
Yeah, I don't know if that was because like he got punched with magnets a whole lot and he's kind of goofy now. But I do like that he's just given up the whole facade, and by doing that, it seems like he's way more interesting from a fighting perspective.
Well, you see the just the progression of the design of the endoskeleton.
Yeah, because he still has the collarbones and everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got your spine.
Look what what I found.
Yeah.
It's a small thing, but I do like that he frequently refers to people with their full name.
Their
names,
full
yeah.
names, yeah.
This is like the most emotive you see Arnold Schwarzenegger be as the Terminator in any of the movies, and it's just this little line of like, protect my Sarah. That's
Yeah.
you know, it gives you some feels.
Well,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean, right there, he doesn't use the last name,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Well, I don't think he ever calls her Sarah Connor.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
Wee. Yeah.
Whee!
So it would have been interesting to me if they would have kept them on the ground
Yeah, because they're robots.
because they're robots, right?
Oh.
And that would have given a plot reason for why the humans floated.
Yeah. But they could just because, I assume that they're in the air because they're the aluminum in the microwave. So much CGI.
Yeah.
We're going to see them go through like 4 more doors, aren't we?
A lot of doors.
They're running through the opening sequence to MST3K.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Yep, see, more doors.
Get over here.
Oh, yeah, you can come in.
She goes
What's the
into
high sign?
this right here. The tear, because he's starting to get a tear.
It looks like he's about to.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
No.
Lieutenant Dan!
Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. Cool
Callback.
again, but it was extra slurpy.
Yeah.
The sound effects again.
Callback, but
Yeah.
slurpy.
Slurpy callback.
That's a good little breakaway.
It's a good dissolve.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a cool shot.
Mm-hmm.
I like that
It's
a whole
another
lot.
day at Silicon Valley.
The water is really cool in that sequence right
Yeah.
there. Get to the bonka.
Ah, dear God.
It's a velociraptor.
Yep.
And the 9/11 sequence.
Yep.
Mhm. Genesis is no more.
And
Nice
then
little skyline shot.
this would just be the world complaining incessantly that Genesis didn't come online.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Great time to be on a forum.
They
Yeah.
built up so much hype. Am I going to get my pre-order back? And
Yeah, remember that.
yeah. The stock dropped 50 points.
Yeah, no, they got double the venture capitalism.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Silicon Valley doesn't make any sense.
Just gonna push the screwdriver in here. Everything will be fine.
It's a ratchet driver or whatever.
I'm changing all of the light sockets in here. You can't stop me.
Recessed lighting. And
So she says that line, but has she loved that many people? This version of Sarah? Because I think the only ones that died are her dad, and that's I guess maybe her mom. I
Her
didn't.
mom
Dad,
got blown
mom,
up
and-
in the
In the
in the cabin, right?
yeah. Yeah, and then the
Exploded.
cabin exploded. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
You got jam on you.
Yeah. Lone Star. He looks like Mark Zuckerberg.
I was
He
just gonna
does,
say
yeah.
he looks like Buff Mark Zuckerberg.
Buff suck.
Buff suck. Mark Bufferberg. Buff suck. I like that.
Jeff Buckerberg.
You don't have
But
to worry
he
about
looks a whole lot older in Suicide Squad. Maybe because he has that scraggly facial hair.
This is cool.
Yeah.
It's a well shot with the backlighting.
I like how his jacket is also healed. Yes, I hug now.
Yes.
Why didn't you just say he was terminated? You could have said he was terminated.
Rolling shots at the beginning of the movie.
Kind of a callback to T2 with John Connor on his bike.
Yep. Why are the parents letting them talk to him?
I was like, what the hell?
They're about back drinking lemonade or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably because they actually, I say like, oh yeah, you saved us from the evil robo whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
But still,
they're wanted criminals.
People were murdered.
Yeah, they took care of it. Narrative convenience.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's nitpicky, but still, when they showed up, I was like, why? Why?
Why? But why?
But why? Why though?
That can be applied to a lot of the movies. Why though?
Yeah. I do too, buddy.
You're gonna hit that someday.
Yeah.
Good job, Ryan.
Ditto. I really
I have a message for you. Button up that collar.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I want Arnold to try the tire swing. And just fall straight to the ground.
I've been told these are fun.
and just him with that goofy ass smile swinging around on it.
Like, as it falls to the ground, he just looks over and smiles at Kyle Reese like that. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up as he's going through the tire swing.
I don't know how they could fit it in with the story, but I'd like to see Arnold get a driver's license with that fucking smile.
Yeah, probably has one.
I want them to make Arnold ride in the back, like a dog.
Head out the window, just smiling.
No, in the bed.
Oh, in the bed. Oh,
like trying to stay steady the whole time.
It'd be funny if he was standing completely straight up though the whole time, just standing as tall as he can.
And then, yep.
Stop watching.
That's great.
I'm gonna get used to it.
So you mentioned Suicide Squad. Who was Jai Courtney in Suicide Squad?
Cat Boomerang.
Yeah, Boomerang, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Tracking now.
Yep.
I do recognize the very wide head.
So, like, I mean, right there, they're like hammering it in, right? More movies.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'm curious as to what they had actually planned to do.
Did you not know there's a stinger?
No.
There's a stinger. I know. I checked yesterday.
I did not.
Or the other day.
Yes.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, let's talk into the stinger
let's
here.
talk into the stinger. So right. Now that we've gone through this, reboot or endless sequels?
Oh.
I'm gonna cheat.
Okay.
And tell you that it depends on what the plot of the movie is, or what the plot of the series is.
Yeah. Guardian, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. So even though this is a reboot, we'll call this endless sequel because it's still following the same characters, different actors, but
yeah,
there's intentions to use more of the similar characters.
Right.
So.
I mean, I'd rather have neither, but I think
of course.
But I think that there are types of plots and types of stories that can lend themselves to at least working with either one of those versions of things. If they finally go through and just acknowledge the whole like James Bond is a code name, James Bond lends itself to soft reboots really easily. Then,
yeah,
quite easily. Endless. I guess endless sequels becomes. Are you talking just endless sequels? Or are you talking endless stories inside of a universe?
Kind of, yeah. Kind of like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's even with those characters. What I'm thinking is like, we're gonna get Star Wars movies a lot
Till we die.
for the next like 15 years, right? We're going to get like 2 Star Wars movies a year for the next 15 years. But that universe is so vast that I think there's enough interesting stories that we'll get decent movies at a pretty good pace out of that.
Stinger
time. Okay.
All right, good summary. So here we have ruined little Skynet-y base.
Skynet, more like ground net.
You're fired.
Why CGI that?
I know, just going through a fucking crack.
This is all CGI.
Yeah.
Why?
CGY?
CGI.
Evil science. Evil science is red.
Yeah.
Evil science is
Bum.
also blue.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, there we go. That, the core is still there. Skynet's still a thing.
Yeah. Just it's not connected to anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna mostly echo what James said. It's kind of on a case-by-case basis. Definitely, if you're gonna keep expanding on a universe, maybe that's okay. But if you're just gonna drag out a storyline for as long as you possibly can, a lot more contained and linear thing.
No, I'm not talking Marvel, where they just keep putting more adjacent to the main story. And then make it all the main story. I mean, like, series of films.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mission Impossible being an example of endless sequels. Even though they've gotten better recently.
I liked the first one, and I really liked Ghost Protocol.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Directed by Brad Bird, who did The Incredibles. But, okay, so reboot. I want to talk reboots real quickly then. Reboots have kind of been the bane of movie nerds for a lot of years now, recently, right? I do believe there's a space for reboots if the technology of movie making has improved in such a way that you can use it to better tell your story and better show your story.
But without being inherently reliant upon it.
Agreed.
Yep.
But that doesn't guarantee it's going to be good. And the example that comes to mind for me is the fucking Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger and the Nightmare on Elm Street series is absolutely better suited to a higher level of technology for movies. Just dreamscapes and just wacky stuff happening all the time. And it was terrible. Like, it was because the storytelling was bad. The movie making was bad. Where it could have been better with the better technology. It could have helped enhance the story that was trying to be told, but it didn't. I don't know. You seem to disapprove, Max. What's up?
No, I'm just kind of thinking how I want to go with this because like John, I don't want to be like John Connor, like you both have, where you've cheated. I'm going to go. This is difficult. Shit, I want to go reboots, but for the similar reasons of Ryan's. If you can tell the story with how Hollywood has evolved from a narrative standpoint, from a technological standpoint, you can probably do some really interesting things. I'm looking at Dune as the major example. If Villeneuve's Dune ever happens, or even between the David Lynch Dune and the sci-fi miniseries where they had progressed.
Oh, a whole lot.
Well, I mean, the CG doesn't look as bad.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like there's a big difference between those two movies.
Yeah. Well, one's made for TV, but one's yeah.
Oh, sorry, Max. Go ahead. Finish.
But I'm gonna go with the reboots for that reason. Again, it's like in comparison to endless sequels, they both don't have a wide margin of success. Like I'm drawing a blank of like what movies that were rebooted or remakes of other movies that were better or as good as the originals. We'll see how that new Halloween movie is that's coming out.
Jumanji?
Well, I heard that new one was pretty good.
That was a sequel, and it was surprisingly fun.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie, but I would watch that again for sure. It was a fun movie. Okay, actually, so two more movies that pop into my head for the reboot discussion. Ghostbusters. The latest Ghostbusters, I think, is a good example where it could have benefited a lot from the expansion of the effects and what they were capable of. And don't get me wrong, I really liked that movie. I did. I thought it was a lot of fun. but it didn't have the charm, and it didn't endear me anywhere near as much as the first two did, and that was, I think, mostly because of the storytelling.
Yeah, there were originally Melissa McCarthy and Leslie Jones's roles were swapped.
Okay.
Like Leslie Jones was supposed to be the scientist, while Melissa McCarthy was supposed to just be the street level member of the team.
Gotcha.
And they're like, oh no, we want Leslie Jones to have a more memorable role as as Patty. So that's why I did that. I would have preferred to see.
I would prefer to see that swap. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that movie also came out. What was that? 2016, I think it was.
I think so. That sounds about right.
That was. I remember a lot of the movies that came out that year, or maybe the years on each side, were like, here's your third act CGI mess of a villain.
Yeah.
Where it's like, here's all the CG. Like, even we saw then of like going to the time portal thing, where it was just like, look at the big swirly thing. End of Ghostbusters, big swirly green thing.
Yeah.
So, time and place.
And
I heard the new Spider-Man movie's pretty good. Homecoming. I haven't watched it yet.
I like it a great deal.
Yeah. I like it.
You've got your problems with
I have
it,
my
particularly
problems with
Tony,
it.
but yeah.
Yeah, but I won't. I don't need to bore Ryan with that.
We can do that. As a additional content thing if we ever do that.
And just to slip in another one here.
Fuck you, Tony Stark. The episode.
The RoboCop reboot, I think, is another example of just, okay, you can do a lot cooler stuff now with your effects, but just I didn't care for the story in that movie. I didn't think it was well told.
I think, like the Terminator, that's a progression. Well, I think sci-fi suffers the most because
you
have new developing technologies. So the nature of what is a threat or what is sci-fi it can't be the same.
And you know
as it was 30 years ago.
And you know what's kind of an interesting foil to that whole argument is as we talked about a while ago, The Thing. Specifically John Carpenter's The Thing. Mm-hmm. That movie does not need to be changed at all. I don't think any effects would improve that movie's experience beyond what's there, because it's perfect. That movie's special effects are pretty much perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Got nominated for a Razzie when it came out.
So crazy. That blows my mind.
So I have a soft reboot I like. Star Trek.
Sure, yeah.
I very much liked the first two. Beyond, I was really lukewarm on, but yeah.
But that first movie I like a whole lot.
Yeah, the first two, I like them both the same.
This movie took the idea of the old Arnold from Old Spock.
Fair. That's a good idea. That fits a lot. It fits a lot better in this than it does in Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Trek still also plays with less, sort of time travel, but universe travel,
dimension
jumping. I guess the argument becomes like, is Man of Steel and Batman Begins, are those soft reboots, or is that just like?
I would say yeah.
Then Batman Begins is probably the best soft reboot ever made.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
that's fair.
But I think if you do endless sequels, I mean, you have your like Rocky. Rocky, I will say, is the premium example of like endless sequels. It has its ups and downs, but right now it's at a incline.
But I think Creed is a gray area. I think Creed is a soft reboot for the Rocky series that is still within continuity.
Then it's
right, because it's going to tell another story. It's going to they're already they're making Creed 2, right? So it's a soft reboot for Rocky, but it's telling the story of Apollo Creed's son.
Yeah, but Apollo Creed is the character that you know of because of the previous 4 movies he was in.
Yeah, but to do a soft reboot, you have to know about all those things too.
It seems like the Creed movies are going to be it's a narrative coupling mechanism to tell one continuous story, but to eventually separate from
they're going to divert
from Rocky, right?
Yeah,
in that respect, I guess to me that falls a little more on the sequel side. I don't know. That's tough. That's interesting. That's an interesting gray area.
It's interesting because if you watch Creed does a really, really. It does a job of trying to make sure that you don't need to know what the other Rocky movies were, right?
I would say that this movie, Genisys, does the same thing. You don't need to have seen Terminator 1, 2, 3, or 4.
But that's where they feel the same thing, right? Like we're saying this is a soft reboot, but it's still in the continuity of the other series, right? So if this counts as a soft reboot, I would say that Creed counts as a soft reboot also.
I think that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
Fury Road.
I don't think Fury Road's a soft reboot.
Yeah, I think it's intentionally vague because you can fit into the narrative of Mad Max that it is the fourth movie, or you could have it as it is a reboot.
Is a reboot. Yeah. Yep.
And it works. It's fine. You don't need to elaborate upon that.
No, I like it as a soft reboot more, but I also see where he's kind of like, I don't need to tell you that because Mad Max is more of an idea than it is. Like Mad Max.
It's like the Western movies with Clint Eastwood, where it's a bunch of like loosely intertwined tales.
Exactly.
Of the man with no name.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Dread Pirate Roberts, right? Theoretically, there could just be multiple different types of people that went through that very same experience.
Mm-hmm.
It hints at those kinds of things, but even the background of that, right? It's his kids getting run over by these huge cars, like in Fury Road. It doesn't match the continuity of the previous one. Yeah,
but yes,
but it's still the same concept. Okay, so I promised I'd talk to you about Terminator Salvation real quick, and let's do it.
Yeah.
So because
was that a promise or a threat?
Well, you like that movie too. So
no, the you talking part.
Yeah, thank you. To speak to it, I talked about it a little bit in this movie, right? This feels very much like the other Terminator movies.
1 and 2.
1 and 2, right? And, well, I mean, 3 even also.
Yeah.
It's in the plot sense, right? Thing comes back.
Things comes back in time. Must stop thing.
Yeah, must stop
thing.
Skynet. Stop Skynet, yada, yada.
They didn't in the third one. Which was a nice little twist. Of
it is
inevitable.
I love the ending of the third movie, actually.
Yeah,
I think the ending of the third movie is... when they show
Spoiler.
up at that... Yeah, when they show up at that bunker,
and, it's
and
like,
you're like,
and you're like, computers are like 30 years old.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
it's a great pull on
It
the
is a
audience.
good downer ending.
You and I saw that movie together, Ryan, and I think that was our comment as we walked out of there, and we were like, everything about that movie sucked except the ending.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and that wasn't just because it ended; it was actually had a cool ending.
Right.
So Terminator Salvation does something that I and this is a personal thing for me. I've always been very interested in the after effect of
the war versus
the war of the machines. So getting to see that was really kind of a thrill for me. I really enjoyed that, and I also thought it showed a really cool aspect of the Terminator universe that we don't get to see a lot of the time.
Okay.
And even I was okay with it because even within the Terminator universe or the Terminator plotline, those things still happened. That has to happen in order for Terminator 1 or Terminator 2 to occur. So getting to see those things is still cool. It's still neat to see humanity surviving and dealing with it. And even the first part of this movie where they're fighting the machines is a cool sequence.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a whole lot. I get that there's the ups and downs. There's the weird, like, is he a man or is he not a man? And
He's a weird cyborg.
What does it mean? Like, they're kind of trying to.
What does it mean to be human?
What does it mean to be human and such and everything? And they don't do a good, like, anywhere near as good of a job as Blade Runner does. So they're falling into that problem, right? But
yeah,
transhumanism. I don't think that movie is anywhere near as bad as people claim it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Just looking real quickly at the IMDb scores.
The one thing I can say about Salvation is, and they hid it until the movie came out and you went and saw, is when he goes into the core and he's confronted by the T-800, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's Arnold.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like, that was a really cool, just like, oh my gosh, like moment.
Right.
So you looked at the IMDb scores, Ryan?
Oh yeah, I mean most of the movies beyond the first two all have roughly the same IMDb scores.
It's like a 6 or something.
Yeah, roughly
so right
6s. But yeah, I mean,
Steve Cuff has this theory that like no movie in IMDb has above like a 7.2. 7.2, just like same with the Pitchfork album score, like 7.2. Perfect.
Yeah, I liked Salvation better than this. But I didn't hate this movie.
No.
All right, so I think we're preempting the
the
final questions here.
View again, brew again. So I'll start off with View again.
Go Max, go.
Maybe I think I would watch this again in the sense of I would want to do like a triple feature of 1, 2, and this just to see how it meshes narratively. You know, just kind of, you know, like viewed in a vacuum of those three without viewing 3 and 4. You know, because I like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I think both Arnold and James Cameron are like, these are the 3 Terminator movies. So
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
yep. But Brewing, yeah. I mean, I would try it again. This beer, I'm not gonna go out of my way to find some. I think this was like $16-17 for the bottle, which I'm fine paying for like a big release like this.
And it's boozy.
Yeah. It was great for sipping. I'm not gonna. We split the 750 mils amongst the three of us, so we were sipping on it throughout most of the movie. So it was fine just to have on. A little bit of some interesting facts about this movie, which probably is why there won't be any more, or hasn't really been any more announcements for it, is this was the first Terminator movie to make under $100 million domestically.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this was the first movie in Hollywood that made over $400 million worldwide, but less than $100 million domestically.
Okay.
It failed to make $150 million in China, which would have greenlit this immediate sequel.
Okay.
Emilia Clarke is not attached for the sequels, but Mackenzie Davis, who's in Blade Runner 2049 as the prostitute, with the orange hair, she's going to be the Sarah Connor role apparently. But
I don't understand that from a logistics standpoint. If your intent is to make a sequel, why aren't you signing people for 3 movies?
She doesn't want to be in it. Maybe it was just if this is successful, I'll sign on for more. But maybe it's with the success of Game of Thrones after this, because this is 2014 to 2018. Her star power is only going up.
Yeah, it just seems like bad planning.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say what stipulations and conditions.
For all I know, she probably has some sort of stipulation that like, hey,
she could have something in there. It just seems like it's a weird. That's weird.
Like, you must greenlight a sequel within X amount of time for me to continue doing this. Because if this would have flopped and it's like, we're making 2 more and you have to stay into it because you signed this contract, I mean, like, great.
I get it. But I mean, even then, if it flops so bad, they might not have. They probably wouldn't.
Like this movie, like just broke even with all the marketing they did for it too.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of marketing for this movie.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So yep, that's what I got for that. Last of my Max facts.
Max facts. I like that. I guess we'll just go down the line.
Yep.
I'll go next. Me next. Brew again. No. It's okay, but this is nothing special to me, and I'm not gonna buy this again, and I'm not gonna seek it out. But thank you for bringing it.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad we were able to actually find a bottle of it.
Yeah,
because Shorts doesn't do a lot of single bottle, like big bottle releases. They mostly do like the one-off 6-pack runs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just, to me, overall, this is just pretty mediocre.
Mediocre. It is a very middle of the road beer.
Yeah. View again. Yeah, I'd view this again. To me, this is one of the many good background movies that I think we watched, where I'd maybe flip this on if I was doing something else. I'm not going to sit down and really focus on this. Or if we did like a triple feature kind of thing, I'd be on board for that. But yeah, I'd view this again. There's enough fun stuff and enough just calling back to the other movies and the greatness that they are. Yeah, it's enjoyable. Passing the puck to James.
Yeah, Brew again, no for me.
15.8%.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe. I actually I think I'm if Max is the side of it and Ryan's the side of it, I'm the side of it. I actively don't like this beer.
Really? We haven't had many of those.
Yeah.
It's not undrinkable. It just doesn't come together. It really doesn't. The last beer, and this is unfair to that other beer because I actually think the other beer is more drinkable than this beer, but the last beer that didn't come together as much as this beer did is Lizard of Cause.
Yep.
For me.
Which, as we discussed in our very, very long episode 50, is it entirely like the rating over our subjectivity of beer is just hogwash. We may just be say like, but people could be like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing.
Oh yeah.
Lizard of Cause being a beer I know people are like, this is the best thing ever.
Of course. I mean, definitely try. Just try stuff. I mean, try whatever.
Oh, yeah.
We're not saying don't try it.
But I think that's comparable to me to what this is.
Yeah.
It's a beer that has a lot of flavors that I think I would like if that was the flavor of the beer. But I don't like it when I'm having like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride through my beer.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's Shorts.
Yeah. But View again. Yes. No, it's not even. I don't hate this movie. I don't mind this movie. I'm okay with it. My biggest complaint is that it's overly long. I want this movie to be about 20 minutes shorter.
The third act really drags on.
Yeah.
If this movie was 20 minutes shorter, I would probably actively like it in the way that I actively like Terminator Salvation.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I think, it's a good case of one of the reasons why we started this is that we're not here to attack movies. We're here to find things that we know aren't very good, but we all like.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's problems with this movie, but at times this movie's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Great first act.
Yeah, great first act. This movie comes swinging out the gates for you.
And that's and that's what really makes it disappointing is after they go forward in time, it's like, okay.
Yeah. But Arnold's great in this movie. He's everything you want. At times John Connor's character becomes really cool, but yeah, I don't know. I'm down with this movie. I'd watch it again.
All
right. Well, that wraps up another episode of Good Brews, Bad Views. As always, thank you for listening. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe and like and rate us on whatever podcast service you listen to. iTunes, Stitcher. We're not on Stitcher yet, but we're going to be. Google Play, all that jazz.
More ratings.
Our survey's flying around. So please take that if you have not. We would love to hear some opinions and feedback and what you would like us to do more of on this podcast or less of on this podcast.
do less of.
Do less of this.
Talking.
Okay. Yeah. Podcasting.
Okay. But yeah. Hope you guys had a good time. And what do you guys think about reboots versus the endless sequels? Let us know.
Yeah, send us some thoughts.
Yeah, Facebook,
Twitter,
whatever works for you. Okay, that's it from us today. And as always, please watch
and drink
responsibly.
We've been terminated.
Bum 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 bum.